Valentine's Day. I can't stand this stupid holiday. Man, it sucks I'm allergic to cats. I can't even be a crazy cat lady when I get older. I'm gonna die alone. Hera, help me. I'm never gonna find someone. You're praying to the wrong goddess, darling. Close your mouth. And while you're at it, close that ridiculous picture book. I can't stand you foolish mortals' writings about love. You get it all wrong. Here, take this instead. Hey, what's up guys? This is Sarah X, aka Amazon, and last night I was either visited by the goddess of love or I really need to lay off the late night munchies. Either way, it's Valentine's Day. Men are desperately looking for flowers to avoid the couch. Women are having their hearts broken by their overhyped expectations, and all the single people I know are feeling like this.
You're making me sick. I wish you'd just stop showing off for the rest of us, and no one wants to love it hard enough. Try to drink another winter all alone.
Now I'm just as guilty of making these horrible mistakes as the next person, but since I got a little cheat sheet this year, I thought I'd share with you some of the secrets in Venus's love book. Rule number 1. I mean, after all, darling, do you think I love anyone as much as me? And I'm the goddess of love herself. Now the way that she explains this is that we're all trying to become a couple when we're not even a full single yet. Let's check out the math. In a healthy couple, you will have 2 full people. See? 1 100% full person plus 1 100% full person equals 2.
Oh yeah.
Now, in an unhealthy couple, where neither person is actually a full human being, you have something that looks a little like this. 1/2-ish of a person plus 1/2-ish of a person equals some weird 2-headed monster that no one wants to be around.
Oh god.
Another unhealthy thing that might occur in relationships is when one person is, in fact, 100% of a person, the other person is 50 or so. What you'll wind up with is 100% of a person and a leech.
You killed me.
Now this isn't to say that you have to be perfect to enter into a relationship, but I am saying that you should have a really clear idea of who you are and where you want to roughly end up. So that way you're not just blindly leading the blind, or depending on someone else to tell you who you are and what you're doing with your own life. I know that self-love might sound a little tricky or even a little narcissistic, but the truth is we need to accept our own uniqueness and awesomeness before we can expect anyone else to. Embrace it so hard that you don't need anyone else to. In my opinion, we'll be ready for a relationship when we're not looking for one anymore. Now without further ado, here are Venus's 5 rules for self-love. Learn to understand and rewire that pesky little brain of yours. Figure out why you're broken. You don't have to admit to me or anyone else that you are, but the truth is we all have scars. And it's really important to know where they come from and how they affect us, aka your psychology. Understanding your psychology is a great first step to being kinder to yourself and to stop being your own worst enemy. Imagine getting this phone call from your best friend. I got fired today. Johnny left me. Your response to this would probably be pretty kind. You know your friend and you know they're awesome and they're going through a rough time, and sometimes tough shit just happens to good people. So if you wouldn't respond to your friend like this, yeah, I bet you deserve it. You know why? Because you suck. No one will ever love you. You'll never hold down a job. You'll never hold down a man. you ain't shit. Then why do you respond that way to yourself when really anything goes wrong? I mean, think about it. If you know sometimes rough shit happens to good people when you're talking about your friends, and you would never let someone else talk to your friends that way, then why are you talking to yourself like that? Listen, I have that voice in my head, just like anybody else, that tells me that I'm not gonna be good enough and what I'm doing doesn't matter and nobody likes me, but I've been learning to fight it. There's this concept called neuroplasticity. Shout out to Lani for the buzzword. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to change over the course of your life. So if you want to build good brain habits, don't talk negative to yourself. What you're doing is instilling these habits where anytime something goes wrong, you're teaching yourself that it's your fault. On the flip side, if you show yourself compassion and push yourself to become the best version of yourself, but do it in a kind way, you're teaching yourself that you're lovable and that you have really great potential and that you can reach it. You can use the concept of neuroplasticity to help you build these habits and help you become who you want to be. What I myself have been doing is trying to work with multisensory learning. I use positive affirmations by telling myself things like, Sarah, you are an Amazon and you will kick butt no matter what comes your way. I believe in you. I do a lot of watching videos on YouTube about self-love and confidence. One thing that I found that's really effective is if you read a book like Life 101 and then journal directly after so that you can start to absorb the information and then process it and apply it to your own life. And music is a great way to absorb vibrations. So the kind of music that you listen to can really help you build your self-confidence. Listening to Lizzo, she is a goddess and she loves herself so unapologetically. You cannot help but feel it about yourself too. Connect to your inner goddess. The second thing that Venus recommends is to connect to your higher self. Your lower self, your ego, the part of you that really holds you back and tries to protect you by telling you you're not good enough, so don't try, is not your higher self. Your higher self wants to connect. Your higher self understands the importance of the life that you've been given and is grateful for it. And so one thing that I've been trying to do recently that I think could really benefit a lot of people is to connect spiritually. Now, that could mean going to church, that could mean meditating, that could mean really a lot of different things. Putting some artistic work together that helps you express what's going on in your mind. That could mean philosophical discussions and reading. I don't want to get too religious or too specific because I think it's really important for everyone to find their own journey on this. One thing that I would really recommend is to watch some videos by Infinite Waters. I found them really inspiring, and also to just really go out in nature and connect with the world that we've been given the opportunity to live in. You think you're working hard now? Well, hustle harder. We're going back to the first video I made, but I really do mean this. I think that when you're hustling and working on your own personal goals, what you're doing is you're developing and growing and learning and stimulating yourself mentally and physically and sometimes financially, and you won't feel as alone because you'll feel connected to information that you're learning. You'll feel connected to people who are also on a similar path as you. You'll feel connected to yourself because you'll have a sense of purpose. I think sometimes people mistake boredom with loneliness, where really if you were growing and learning, you wouldn't be thinking so much about what you don't have, because you would be thinking about what you're accomplishing, what you want to accomplish, where you want to go, how you're going to make it happen, and you would be a lot more excited about your life and a lot happier to be alone when you are alone, because that's the time that you have to build yourself. I would also recommend for you to get a role model to your hustle, someone who's, more experienced at doing what it is that you want to do. I follow Lilly Singh because I think Superwoman is a goddess, and her book has really helped me to understand how to push past some of the mental barriers that have blocked me from going for what I want. And it's really opened up a new level of self-confidence for me. For God's sake, have a little fun, mortal. We all know you won't get out of this life alive. Telling us that we need to chillax, because really nothing is that serious. We come into this world, we leave this world. Who knows really what happens before or after or in between. We do know that we have this time where we can enjoy ourselves. We can go places we want to go. We can do things we want to do. Stop stressing about what people think about you and start thinking about how can you have fun. 2 really awesome videos I watched that helped me conceptualize this. This one video from School of Life was about self-confidence and how the real key to self-confidence is that you don't take yourself too seriously and you understand everyone is an idiot and everyone's a fool, so what's the pressure? Really, once you embrace that you're a fool, then whatever anyone else tells you about you being a fool isn't a surprise, it isn't shocking, it isn't hurtful. You already know it, you don't care, you're just enjoying yourself. And the second video that I would recommend was by Charisma on Demand. And it was actually this video about why everyone loves Loki. Because we all love Loki! Really though, I kind of have a crush on him, he's really hot. Anyway, one of the things that he said was Loki is fun and you can tell he's enjoying everything. Even when things are going wrong, he's unfazed and he's just enjoying himself. One suggestion that Charisma on Demand had was to set an alarm that goes off on your phone every so often throughout the day that just says, how can I make this funner? Sometimes we get caught up in what we're doing and being stressed out, and we don't realize that there is a lot of opportunity for fun there. And finally, mortal, if you want to get love, you have to give it. But we also need to start doing nice things for the people that we love. I think sometimes we get caught up on romantic love and, you know, whatever's missing in our lives, and we start to take for granted the people that are already there and who already love us. Love is supposed to be a giving act, not so much an act of receiving. The reason this should be part of self-love is because the people who are in your circle are kind of an extension of you. You're giving this energy to someone who you really care about. And that in and of itself, that show of gratitude and appreciation for that person in your life, really, really amplifies the love that you feel in your own heart. You know who loves chocolate dipped strawberries? Your cousin. So be kind to yourself and be kind to the people who you love in your life. And there you have it. Those are Venus's 5 rules for self-love. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's Valentine's Day themed episode of Project Amazon. I really appreciate your continued support, and I'll see you next week.